Guys, what is going on? Got the cup of Joe. I'm getting this video to you way too late. I apologize, but we will dive into these 28 trades without further ado. A lot of them, as I've told you, are stacked. I can give you an idea right here of my first trade, which was at 8:29, so before the news. I take that back. I want to say Friday in the morning, there was a little bit of news. I think it was more we were waiting on, obviously, Fed Chairman Powell to speak on the, the whole Jackson Hole, deal. And I got in. Anyways, the point is 8:29 was my first trade. I lost 115. 2 trades later, I won at 8:34 and 8:34. So yeah, I know I stacked them. $34 and $22. Okay, not that great. I went long on those 2. Then I went back to short, lost $127.80. 10:13. I went long. I guess I went on the other side, lost $227.80. That right there, 2 losses, done for the day. Did I do that? No. This is also what I mean by cleaning up things, staying within my rules to minimize my losses, because as I told you, the mental capital that was taken from me versus the actual money I was able to acquire out of the market, which was just under $200, is not worth it on a Friday where there's tons and tons of news. So just not, just like be smarter than that is what I'm, my own comment to myself is. My wins have to continue to be big. My smalls need to continue to be small. I lost another long because I had stacked into 2 positions because I felt I could make it back. I lost the 127, 227 I lost, 265 I lost. Now you're talking about I'm down 5, almost 600, actually probably $600 now. Turn around at 10:16, 3 minutes later, I see a short opportunity. I make $459, and I remember this is when he's talking. And as he's talking, the market went up, and I was going down. And I was taking longs, but it had started to turn over, and he was talking, and I was like, come on. And I actually remember this now. Now that I'm not even looking at the charts right now, I'm looking at the TradeZilla breakdown of how much I lost. When I entered in a heavier size contract, mind you, that 250 marker, hit me right away, right? Like right when I entered the positions, I was like, come on. I'm going to take these positions, and it's wicking so much. There's so much liquid in the market in volatility, I should say. Of course there's liquid in the market for it to be moving, but there's so much volatility because he's speaking, and the market's now turning back over, that I'm taking long positions, but it's tapping me out and going back down. But it's on a long dropping candle. What do? I turn around and I short it. I make $459.70, and I stack that position a minute later or seconds later, win another $309. Now I am back at square one. I think I even went up positive $10 in my account. 10:18, I get in the next trade. I short again because I'm like, it looks like there's going to be a little bit more. I lose 140. I stack into that because only 39 seconds later, I lost another 215, and I was in another position, meaning that was when I executed the trade. So now I'm down $300 and some dollars. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm such an idiot. I actually like chucked my phone. I'm like, I didn't chuck my phone, but I was just like, I was pissed. I was like, what's going on? I'm like, why did I get in again? Like, I was able to escape unscathed. Like, what's my deal? Again, this is the habits that I'm eliminating, but ones that I'm willing to talk about and be like, this is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really matter if you're like, Julian, like, well, you make videos and you talk about it. It's like, yeah, because I'm not going to lie to you about the process. But I'm also not going to sit there and be like, oh, man, it was freaking, sunshine and rainbows. It was great. I had a great trading day. Like, no. I took a fat L. After that, I take a $122 win, $22 win, $97 win, $34 win, $109 win, and it's like 22, 97, 34. Like, let the runner go. Like I'm letting these losses just gash me, but I'm not letting the winners run. And I made obviously some great money on those 2 shorts to get me back to zero. I lost money, then I pretty much made it back. Then I lost 190, and I made 59 back. I know this is like a crazy ping ponging. Lost $15, which was more of like exiting the position. Made $22. Lost 15, lost 202, lost 227. Now it's like I'm back down minus 500. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Then I make 184, 122, 172, 109, 72, and then I lose $15 on like just exiting the position at the very end as I'm closing out of the position. And that's how I was able to go up 196, 60. Gross P&L 275, commission $78, profit factor 1.11, win rate was 57 on 28 trades, 16 winners, 12 losers. It's like, bro, like I told you, this was an inverted chart that was so just jacked up that was like, it's insane. So I know what I did. I know that there's like a lot of like, come on, a lot of come ons there. I just know that at the end of the day, like I've evaluated it enough to be like, you chase that. You also had that feeling, that gut feeling in your kind of soul that was like, you don't need to be trading today. JP gets on the mic and you got 2 freshly funded accounts that you have $0 right now you've made on these, but you're funded. You get past that, 5 consecutive $200 days or $1,000. Now you can take out 50% profit. Now you can do that times 2 accounts. You can do some things. I've got another one I've just got to pay for $149. I essentially have. It's not there's not 3 expresses yet, but I just have to pay for it. $149. I'll have $150 funded, and there's another one that I'm $1,400 off that I should be able to complete tomorrow. If I see an opportunity, just go ahead and whack that one out the way, and then I'll now have 4 funded, where I have $200K funded on Top Step. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment from where we've been. I also had a Apex renew on me because it was a $40. Thank goodness it didn't charge me because I was, like it just auto pay or whatever on like the thing, and I hadn't canceled it. I didn't realize that there was one hovering over there. And luckily they ran that special because obviously we're getting close to Labor Day and they threw the 80% back on. Well, it was only $40 charged me. I'm like, okay. So I have one 300K account that I'll probably end up, once I get some payouts, as I've told you before, like I have no ill will towards Apex. There's definitely a lot of rules and stuff like that, but it's very apparent that like if you can join 20 accounts and you can be funded $6 million on, that's 300,000 times 20 accounts is $6 million. That's like insane. And even if it is, okay, you can only get a max of 3,000 payout wise. Let's say you've built it from the 265 or 256.6. You get it past the trailing drawdown. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I'm just walking you through it. Once you pass a certain, now there's no trailing with you. Let's just say you get up to 275. You can only pull out 3K per account, but that's 20 accounts. Guys, that's fucking 60 grand. You know what I'm saying? And that's every 2 weeks. If you're making that much money, if you're getting your max allocation to take out every 2 weeks from each account individually, it's like, so Apex is by far, I think, the hardest one to get past because there's a lot more bells and whistles to kind of hoops to jump through. But you see traders alike that are grabbing these Apexes that are going, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm disciplined enough, and are capitalizing on these payouts that, like, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like OPM. Use other people's money all that you can. If you have the skill, why would you stop? It doesn't make sense. I know everybody wants to build their own capital, their own pool of money. Okay, if I'm sitting on $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, a couple mil, and I want to just like, I'm going to chuck 10, 20,000 into an account and flip that and turn that into 100K of my own liquid cash that I trade with, that I bring it up, I take money out of, I pay myself, I vacation, I take care of bills, I do whatever, whilst having the other, funded accounts, money. Because now you've got sources of income coming from a ton of different areas. Sorry, I'm like leaking. From a slew of places. But like anything else, like one stream of income, why would you stop the flows of like these companies are willing to pay you and you have the skill already? So it's very apparent that people who have been in the game a long time realize what it's about. Realize that, of course, there are going to be rules, restrictions, etc. You got to follow the rules. And as long as you do that, though, they're more than willing to fund you, and people are just greedy, and because of the pricing and how they do things, and, they set it up just right. And I'll just leave it at that because I could go on and on and on, whatever. What I'm essentially getting at is like with these funded top steps, it's my job to stay disciplined. It's my job to make sure I am not over leveraging. I'm not over risking. I'm in the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, no pun intended. I'm in the money. It's time to pay myself. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get over that hump. We're right here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and staying poised, continuously reading books. I'm reading a new book now. I just finished that last one. We're reading The Traders. I'll tell you right. Oh, where's my phone? I think it's in the room. What is it called? I think it's called The Trader's Plan or something like that. It's by Brett Steinman or something like that. Something like that. Anyway, I will get that title for you. Obviously, I'm still reading it right now, and I've probably got another, 6-7 hours, so I'll finish that one, within the next day or so. But I will let you know what that title is. At the end of the day, you've heard me say this before, and so I'm not going to harp on the old stuff, but me, you, getting more knowledgeable about an object, like very just objectively thinking about the markets and how it works, and you imploring and kind of enforcing your edge on the market when you see your opportunity, and then, and then stepping on the sideline and just being like, when my opportunity shows up again, I'll pop back in. And like being that disciplined to do that, like the world is at your, the world is your oyster. But everybody doesn't have that mindset. And I just told myself, as I've already talked to you guys about, how important reading is to me and how it's just making me a better businessman. It's making me a better person. It's making me a better overall, just human being. And I'm able to articulate, you know what I'm saying, and make my message more, impactful. And that's all through, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I wasn't reading books. Put it that way. You know what I'm saying? I would not be where I'm at and where I'm going without books. And so I'm not going to stop doing that. The more books I've read, I just talked to my brother about this today, it's like the positive bell curve I see, the positive uptick of my P&L. And I look at it on TradeZella and I get to see it firsthand. And I'm like, as I told you guys yesterday, I said, these are 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days out of this entire month, give or take. I didn't mark a couple of these down. I don't know why they didn't upload, but for whatever reason, there's 4 days. I told you 2 of those were over a K, which we have to eliminate, meaning losses. These wins, you got a 2.4K win, a 1.42K win, $1,000 win, a 925, a 525, a 711. You're getting a lot of great wins. If I eliminate those 2 big gashes, which I have to, that's a must, in order for me to be profitable and stop doing the silly things like chasing the market and just letting it come to me and waiting for my setup. And if I don't see it, be disciplined enough to get up and walk away from the charts and not be so fixated on, oh man, I wish, I saw what I was, and better yet, not instead of saying I wish, because then you're at least aware that the market's not giving you your opportunity or showing you a hand that you're looking for. Instead, you're like, I'm bored, I might as well put this one on, and then you throw on size, and it's like, you kind of smack yourself up above the head, and you're like, why did I take this loss today? And it's nothing but just laziness. It's nothing but just like, that you did that to yourself. There's no reason that you took that kind of loss. And that's what I'm like, TradeZella, obviously, and journaling in general has just really helped me do. I realize that everything's at the forefront of, it's in my fingertips, is like, okay. And guess what? We've been here before. And if I take the same approach in, let's chuck it, you know what I'm saying, and have that mentality, even if that's a subconscious thought, because I'm just like, I just need to get to these payouts quickly. Like, it will also then cease to exist, and you know what I'm saying, and I will blow those accounts, and I will have to start all over, and I'm tired of starting over. I'm tired of losing, and I'm tired of, you know what I'm saying, making the same mistakes that I know I can fix up, clean up. When I don't see a trade, when I'm unsure but I enter into a trade, and if it's not showing me that employee that I've put to work, which is a contract, right? Alan Edwards, I love the way he talks about that, which really makes you think just like in a different mindset. But and he or she doesn't yield me, you know, money, and I'm not monetarily making, I'm not benefiting, fire the employee. Because there's always a way, there's always a time I can get right back in. I can get right back in the next second if I'm like, okay, wait a minute, it did. It confirmed that I was looking at the right thing. The minuscule loss you're going to take is nothing compared to you sitting at one and you're like, oh my God, I'm down $2,000. Like, I'm supposed to, like, what am I doing? And you're fearful and you feel it within your veins. You're like, oh my gosh, like I'm literally shook up with fear, with greed, with I'm not even thinking correctly. I'm going after revenge trades. I'm just not seeing the market clearly anymore. You have to be able to walk away from those things. And the people who are the best at that are the ones who are profitable, the ones who are living the life and doing the things that you also want to do in the trading space. And so I've just realized that that is also where I am going, and I have made that decision. And the books that I'm reading obviously just, you know, relock in my own affirmations of this is what it's going to take. This is who I have to become. And when I become a better version of myself in trading and in knowledge of trading and how it works and the whole mechanisms behind and how the gears turn, right? Going really under the hood of like, what is trading? What is trading? Who do I need to be? I have to think in probabilities. I have to think in percentages. I can't think in P&L and dollars and, well, I could have made this much, because that is a loser. That is a loser. And that is what I'm realizing. And it's like, you know, maybe I've not said it that way. Maybe I've said it in other words. Maybe you've kind of picked up on that. But I want you to learn. I want you to get something out of the videos that I put up, because you need to know these are the trades that I, you know, kind of told you about. Again, it's 28 trades. I know what I did wrong. There's a lot of, oh my gosh, like what am I thinking about? And I'm going to just keep going. This was a stupid trade. This was a stupid trade. So I don't need to dive into what it was exactly. And I know I told you that I was going to, but you know, it's 1:30 a.m. Tomorrow's a new week, and it's about putting it together. You know what I'm saying? It's about putting it together. We're up $196 on two 50K fundeds. I need to pay the $149 on one of the other 50s. That'll take us to $150. I need to pass the other one. That's $1,400. That'll bring us to $200K funded. I've got a $300K Apex. There's stuff looking up. If I was to be funded on all those, that's $500K across, you know what I'm saying? $500,000 funded. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now are you going to let that slip through your hands as I have done in the past? Or you know something has to be different. You know your approach towards the market has to be different. You know you need to be objective when you look at the market. It can't be, oh my God, yippee, I'm funded. It's got to be chill out, focus, see what you see, trade how you trade a combine, because you've turned around and blown the other 50K that you had and turned around and got funded within the next, I want to say 8 trading days, so 2 weeks. I mean, you completely killed it, got yourself up there. I mean, I'm not saying that in the past, like I said, on an Apex, I've made more money in one swing, in some cases over 3K. So that's kind of why I was like, wow, this Top Step thing's enticing. And the 3K thing, now you can't go down a certain amount, you know, drawdown wise, but I think I can do this 3K thing versus 20K on Apex, which is much higher. The point is there's an opportunity here for me to seize. And I need to seize the opportunity. That's really what it boils down to. You know, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. Let's jump into the word, and then we will get you out of here. But I want you to know that this is what we are, you know, looking forward this next week. Let's see if we've got news tomorrow. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Forex Factory. Okay. We don't have, no, well, we got core durability goods. That comes out at 8:30. Tuesday, we've got consumer confidence and richer manufacturing index. Wednesday, we've got crude oil inventories. Thursday will probably be the biggie. Prelim GDP and unemployment claims. And Friday, we've got core PCE and consumer sentiment. So that will obviously then end the month. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll be jumping into September. So again, what I want to see for myself is be up, potentially be up over a K, you know what I'm saying, on my accounts, as long as the market doesn't move too wonky. When I see the moves that are mine, that are within my playbook, don't force things. It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? It is. But when there's emotion involved and you're not thinking objectively, and you're just kind of like, you're just emotional, then now you're allowing your emotions and you're allowing your, if I added a little bit more size and it goes my way, I mean, you do all this, but it's almost like it's a deep thought. It's a subconscious thought. It's not even something that you even feel on your radar. You know what I'm saying? Like that vibration is not high enough for you to, but you're looking at the chart and you're like, this could be the one. I've seen this before. And it's like, why would you put, you know what I'm saying, unless it's a perfect setup in it and it matches your confluences, why would you put such a heavy weight on one particular trade when that could be the trade that just like knifes down and you're caught into a whirlwind? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's all about perspective. Of course, it's easy for me to talk about it right now, just kind of whatever with no emotion, but when you're in it, and the market's moving and you feel like there's every tick you see move, that's opportunity for you. It's hard sometimes to kind of like, all right, let me chill. And so here we are. But let's dive into this really quickly and let's get you out of here, all right? So, forget about yourself. What's the price of a pet canary? Some loose change, right? And God cares what happens to it even more than you do. He pays even greater attention to you, down to the last detail, even numbering the hairs on your head. So don't be intimidated by all this bully talk, excuse me. You're worth more than 1,000,000 canaries. Stand up for me against world opinion, and I'll stand up for you before my Father in heaven. If you turn a tail and run, do you think I'll cover for you? Don't think I've come to make life cozy. I've come to cut. Make a sharp knife cut between son, father, daughter and mother, bride and mother-in-law. Cut through those cozy domestic arrangements and free you from God. Well-meaning family members can be your worst enemies. If you prefer father or mother over me, you don't deserve me. If you prefer son or daughter over me, you don't deserve me. If you go all the way with me, through thick and thin, you don't deserve me. If your first concern is to look after yourself, you'll never find yourself. But if you forget about yourself and look to me, you'll find both yourself and me. We are intimately linked in this harvest work. Anyone who accepts what you do accepts me, the one who sent you. Anyone who accepts what I do accepts my Father, who sent me. Accepting a message of God is as good as being God's messenger. Accepting someone's help is as good as giving someone help. This is a large work I've called you into, but don't be overwhelmed by it. It's the best to start small. Give a cool cup of water to someone who is thirsty, for instance. The small acts of giving and receiving make you a true apprentice. You won't lose out a thing. Say it with me if you know it. You are uniquely different. God took his time on you. You are one of one. If nobody's told you today, I love you so much. Peace.